you go big, go back. That would be my recommendation.
Talk into the mic. Don't talk into the mic so much.
I know. It's good. All right, here we go. Ready? Yep.
Hello and welcome to the Abandoned Beers podcast. It is the only podcast that is out here trying to match your favorite bands with our favorite beers. I'm the host of this thing. Some might say the king, Pat Zapp, second of his name, the Lord Paramount of the Stormlands, the Lord of Storm's End, the King of the Annals, the Reinhard, and the First Men, the Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, protector of the realm, and I'm known as the Whoremonger King, the Fat King, and the Stormlord. My name is Pat Zapp, and I'm here with my two best buddies in the whole wide world, and I'm going to introduce them to you right now. Sitting next to me, we got the Lord of Winterfell, the Warren of the North, Hand of the King, Protector of the Realm, the Lord Regent from the House of Stark. He's known as the Quiet Wolf, but around here, we know him as Dan McHenry. Dan, say hi to the people.
The North remembers.
And this other guy, he is with us. We couldn't be doing without him. He is the Kingslayer, the Lion of Lannister, the Golden Man, the Golden Hand, the Young Lion, the commander of the King's Guard, and boy, does he love his sister. He is Dusty Swartz.
I should find someone better for me, guys, but Mom says we're born this way. Every time I come over to your house, you just shit on my face.
We are Abandoned Beers.
Yeah,
we are here to make you...
It's Rilo Kiley.
That's Rilo Kiley, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard that one, yep. What are we? We are Abandoned Beers. We're here to make you drink beer, think about death, and childhood actors, and feel bad and stuff. And we are just about ready to get rocking and rolling and cracking and drinking. Boys, welcome to the podcast, the Semester at Sea edition of the podcast.
Oh, I'm really excited for this one. We're going to, a little behind podcast baseball here. We're going to be recording a few of these today and tomorrow. We're really excited to get a few on the wheels here.
Yeah, down in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Yeah, America's favorite family resort.
That's
it's
right.
A dry county, but we're making it as wet as possible.
Woo!
All right, so I'm excited. I'm always excited to do this. We have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, a whole bunch of stuff to drink about. But Dan, before we get too far, look down the barrel of that camera and let the people know what we're doing here today.
All right, so Abandoned Beers is a podcast where we choose a band, and then we each pick a beer that we think best represents the band. It could be any good old reason as to why we think this beer is specific to the band that we're talking about for that given day. So, it's all about feel, it's about location, it's about what makes you feel good inside. And, at the end of the episode, we take a vote amongst the three of us to determine which beer is that band.
It's the talk of the podcast nation. I keep saying it. This is our year. We are going to become number one podcast worldwide.
Whoop, whoop.
We grow every day. Thanks to you for listening. Thanks to you for watching. We've never been more popular than we are right now. So shouts outs to everybody who's gotten on the train, is riding with us. Dusty, depending on what episode they've just most recently listened to, how do you feel about the couple of podcasts we've just done?
I think we're really hitting our groove, guys, and not as bitter about the outcome of the last one, although because I did get at least a vote, so I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, it's baby steps. You get one
I'm
vote
making
at a
some
time.
progress.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a little upset if I don't get the particular song I want at the end of the podcast when we pick songs to create our ultimate playlist for the band.
Yeah.
But I picked Bloodhound Gang most recently, and had I not picked the right beer for Bloodhound Gang, I would have been really mad at myself and really mad at you guys for not acknowledging it. But it's not my pick this week. This particular episode, Dan McHenry is in the picker's position. What are those things called?
I'm in the birdhouse. I'm the one that's
The bird seat?
The bird seat, thank you.
I was thinking
I'm in a birdhouse, too, I guess.
I was thinking of a cherry picker, but I don't know why.
You're in the bird cage.
Bird cage, anything that houses a bird.
Madonna.
You're in the paint right now. You're under the rim. You're ready to
there
take
you
that
go.
ball. You're not going to get a 3-second rule violation or whatever it is.
That's right.
Out of the on-deck circle, you've made your way to the plate, and you have a band to pick.
In the batter's
All right.
box.
Here's my intro song from.
It's
well,
weird
there's
how
no
many
intro
things-
song, but our band today is. I feel like they were at the time period that they came out. They were. When I made my way into indie rock officially.
Officially.
Officially, I felt
When
like,
you released the statement.
Yes,
like, I am indie rock.
I spent some years in the emo hardcore, pop punk arena, and then I got a taste of this, and I loved it, and I kind of weaseled my way into all the different bands from this time period. Anyway, the band is Rilo Kiley. So anyone who is not familiar with Rilo Kiley, here's what they sound like.
Any chimp can play human for a day, uses opposable thumbs to iron his uniform, and run for office on election day. Fancy himself a real decision maker and deploy more troops than Salt and Shaker. But the lows are so extreme that the good seems fucking cheap, and it teases you for weeks in its absence. But you'll fight and you'll make it through. You'll fake it if you have to, and you'll show up for work with a smile. And you call to say you're getting older. And sometimes planes they smash up in the sky. On your side, or did I speak too soon? Now we've crossed the great divide. Someday we'll meet beyond the stars, and it'll be away from here. Someday we'll meet beyond the time and the bars, and it'll be away from here. There's blood in my mouth 'cause I've been biting my tongue all week. I keep on talking trash, but I never say anything.
God, I love Rilo Kiley. I love the sound. I love Jenny Lewis, who is the lead singer.
So is this another addition to the list of lady singers that Dan McHenry loves?
Oh yeah,
All right.
love a good lady singer who.
So where
especially
are
if
we
they're-
at with this list? So Jenny Lewis is the newest
Jenny
addition.
Lewis,
Haley Joel Osment Williams from Paramore.
Haley Joel Osment Williams. Wow, okay, all right. Of the bands we've done so far, those are the only two. I think.
that is true.
Miss Kyoto herself, Phoebe Bridgers.
Phoebe Bridgers, love her.
And,
My all-time I got a hall pass. I don't know if Jackie ever agreed to this or not,
right.
but Zoe
She and him.
Deschanel,
Zoe Deschanel.
who reminds me of Jenny Lewis
And
in
who
the way
is
Well, a
she
lot of
sings.
ways, both Hollywood
Yes.
kids who started a band.
Mhm.
And who's the one you just saw recently?
The one I saw recently was a Kaylee Goldsworth.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's
fell in love with her.
an updated
I might have gotten
version-
that name wrong. I apologize. I'll send a link out to everybody later. But
an updated version of the list.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one discussing do we think this is, Rilo Kiley sort of sounds like a name. Do we think this is Jenny Lewis's band and she is Rilo Kiley? Sort of like how we decided
Ooh.
Haley Williams is Paramore.
I have a lot of hot takes on this because
All right.
one of my boys is in this band.
nice.
All right, so I'm
Yeah,
excited
this is right.
to
All right.
get into it, but
Let's get a beer going
Yeah,
first.
pretty thirsty over here.
Exactly. All right. So I get to pick the first beer. This is my band. So I went with during this time period when I was introduced to Rilo Kiley, I noticed that there were a lot of hipsters that were into
interesting.
Rilo Kiley.
I'm gonna take some notes real quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of hipsters. You go to a Rilo Kiley show and you're like, all right, these guys are really trying. Everybody in the audience is trying hard to really be hip. So I went with a beer. Let me grab it for a second here.
Hipsters, huh?
Oh boy,
Oops, sorry.
Dan, I like where you're going with this. Oh, here it is. I
name
love
of the
La
beer,
Cabra, bro. This
It's
is
from La
great
Cabra
beer.
Brewing. They have I think they're based specifically in Berwyn, Pennsylvania. They have a smokehouse that has serves barbecue that's within a 3-mile drive of my house.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone there. I've only gone there once, but I need to go there multiple times.
I've been there twice. It's within a mile of my office.
There you
I've
go.
never been. You guys should take me one time.
Oh, it's
name
really
of the
good. It's
beer
really good.
is Hipster Catnip.
All right.
It is an American IPA, 7.2% ABV.
Woo! But unlike other days, guys, where we might be driving home today, we're staying here.
Yep,
So I'm
we're
gonna
on
drink this beer.
sauce.
Let's
bro.
drink up.
This is an excellent beer too. This
All
is
right, I'll
a
try it
really
out.
good beer. La Cabra makes excellent beers. We should tag them on this episode. I love this brewery. I love hanging out there. It's a great vibe, and they really do make some excellent beers.
Yeah,
First impression, it's good.
really good. I actually was introduced to La Cabra. They back during COVID, they had a food truck that came to our neighborhood, and you could order the barbecue and order 6-packs to go.
That's
So
awesome.
that was right in the middle of you want to support your local breweries. So I ordered tons of 6-packs, and we got a good barbecue dinner that night as well. So once I was introduced to it, it was like, all right, anytime I see Hipster Catnip in a 6-pack store or 4-pack in this sense because you get it in a pint size can.
I tell you what, that 2 weeks to flatten the curve was a really acceptable time to just turn yourself into a day drunk.
Oh,
I
gained a lot of weight.
Supported a
Oh, super
lot of
fun.
local breweries and bought a lot of beer, and it was awesome that they would literally come to your house and drop off. I met the head brewer of 2SP Brewing because he was the one who hand delivered the beer that I ordered from them. So
I was getting, I forget who, but it was one of the higher guys up in Tired Hands coming through because he just lived in my neighborhood. So he would just drop it off on his way home. It was basically all the Philly breweries I was having just swing through. Because before that, that delivery of beer wasn't a thing. So it really opened a lot of doors. I'm glad to hear La Cabra did something like that. That was really cool, and hopefully it helped their business.
yeah, definitely.
La Cabra, the goat.
The goat, yeah, a nice picture of the goat there.
I like the logo, goat head in a golden circle, La Cabra Brewing. I like the font on Hipster Catnip. I like the green
The green, kind of,
hexagon
this pattern is nice.
intertwining pattern of the can. This
Yeah.
is good.
So this is, when I think of Rilo Kiley, I think, there's going to be a lot of hipsters listening to them, going to their shows, and I think Hipster Catnip is the ultimate hipster beer. When somebody's wearing flannel, it's got their knit cap on, they're going to pick up some beer to go to the local underground show or whatever.
So
They're going to pick this beer up.
I have a question for you. Why did you go with Hipster Catnip over something like PBR, which was at the time that Rilo Kiley was really coming to prominence, was the hipster go-to beer?
I assume that's going to be your beer, so that's why you're talking about PBR right now. I wanted to go with an actual beer that tasted good.
Oh, I'm really glad you
didn't
did.
Didn't give me the shits. I'm going to be honest. Anytime I've had PBR, does not treat my insides well. So,
Yep.
I'm a PBR drinker. I got a case of PBR at the house, given to me by Dan McKenna.
yeah. And I gave that to you about a year ago, I think now, or 6 months ago. So,
Yeah.
has not
Yeah,
been drunk
maybe.
yet.
Yeah. I've been drinking a lot of other beer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Obvious reasons.
we've had some extra beers coming through the
Yeah. That's
pipeline.
right.
Yeah.
Some podcast or something.
Yeah, I really like this choice, Dan. I think this is an excellent way to go because there's a lot of indie bands out there. They were around in 1998, that first album. That's crazy. So they were really early on the scene, and I think they don't just do some noise rock, which we might get into at some point, or already talked about in
we
some
already
ways.
talked about, yes.
No, they, Jenny Lewis has a real smooth voice. I think she's really nice.
Velvety and lovely.
Yeah.
The songs are pretty.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty songs, but they do have a second gear
Yep.
that takes it out of that, pretty sounding thing to a more hard edge. Maybe that's where some of the
Yep. I
indie
totally agree.
rock comes from. I did not know Rilo Kiley very early on.
Yeah.
And was actually really pleasantly surprised to go back and listen to the new and before they were cool version of Rilo Kiley.
I was a little familiar with them. They were around, around town a bit. But same here. I love getting through all those albums. And I think I found a lot more stuff that I liked.
Do you know where I first heard them?
Where'd you hear them?
In an episode of The OC.
They were very prominent
just
in being featured.
The OC had like a really vibrant music scene, and in season 2, they open up a live music venue called the Bait Shop, and the Bait Shop was run by a very pretty young lady played by Olivia Wilde, and Olivia Wilde and Marissa start to date, and it's a fan favorite episode for everyone. And they're driving around listening to Rilo Kiley.
I think they also got featured on an episode or two of Dawson's Creek, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So all those
CW stuff.
Yeah, all the CW, Fox, shows that were popular at the time period that they were popular. It was, they were just driving people into their music by being featured like that. So that was pretty awesome.
And then our people in the band, a couple of childhood actors, right?
That's correct.
That's true.
So band members are Jenny Lewis, who was prominently featured in Beverly Hills Troop, the movie. If anybody has seen that. With Shelley Long as the she's the lead actress, and then I know Pat wants to talk about.
Hold
this.
on, Jenny Lewis was also in the Postal Service.
She did.
She did background vocals for them.
Background vocals, yeah. You're stealing my thunder for later on in the episode.
Apologies.
But that is true.
Keep it in time.
All right, talk about my boy.
All right, next one. A guitarist and also does some vocals. He gets usually like 1 or 2 songs an album to his own. Blake Sennett.
Love him. Love Blake Sennett. He, you might know him from Salute Your Shorts, where he played Pinsky. But I know him most famously. He's Joey the Rat from Boy Meets World.
Joey the Rat Epstein.
Oh.
Yes.
Joey the Rat, Frankie the Enforcer, the goons of Harley Kiner at John Adams High.
Yeah, he was great in that show.
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, were you guys?
He's one of the all-time quintessential TV lackeys.
Yeah. Were you guys Salute Your Shorts fans?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
big time.
Who was your favorite character on Salute Your Shorts? I'm not. I have a feeling I know what Pat's gonna say with the color, the hue of his hair.
And I had a haircut that was very similar. I got called Bobby Budnick a lot in high school.
Now, did that mean you liked him?
Yeah,
Or-
Budnick
Okay.
was great. Donkey Lips,
Yeah,
Sponge.
Donkey Lips, huge.
I always thought the one kid looked like Logan Casey, the blonde-haired
Michael, I think was from the first season.
kid. Yep.
Second season, I loved Pinsky when he came in.
Yeah,
that
Pinsky
was-
comes in. Yeah.
yeah,
It's great.
yeah, great show from the '90s. The Steve Vai guitar pick that Bobby Budnick had.
Camp Counselor, Ugg.
Yeah.
Lee.
If listen up, if I ever have another original band, I am going to be calling it Zeke the Plumber. Just hopefully that doesn't exist anymore, but that's just something
There's
I've been
probably-
I've been
there's
talking about
probably-
that for years. That I want to name.
You might need to
band.
trademark that.
Yeah, Zeke
because,
the Plumber.
Zeke the Plumber. That was a terrifying episode of Salute Your Shorts.
It was. So the rest of the guys that were in the band, we got Pierre DeReader. He was not a child actor, and Dave Rock. He was not a child actor. Anything else you want to talk about with their acting? I know you were very excited about Blake Sennett.
Yeah, he's my boy. I love that. Actors turn musicians. Usually not something I'm into, but these guys kind of knock it out of the park. I'm not a 30 Seconds to Mars guy. Not into Dog Star. Not into a lot of the actor bands.
She
that
and
are
him?
there.
Dead Man's Bones.
What is it? I'm thinking of. Shouts out to him. I hope he recovers well. But Jeremy Renner.
What about Hollywood? Was it Hollywood Vampires? Johnny Depp and and Duff McKagan. I want to say Keith Richards is involved, maybe,
Well, I think
or
we're going to be
Alice Cooper.
talking about a band where Johnny Depp makes a musical debut later, but whatever. Yeah, no, not into it. I don't.
Not into
I don't.
it, okay, all
I
right.
don't. I don't.
All right.
I'm not
I mean,
into it.
Lionheart, Chris Jericho doesn't make the cut for you.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. No one takes Fozzy seriously.
But is a wrestler
No
an
matter
actor?
How many?
I would say so.
I don't know. It
How
depends
good,
on if you
uh,
think it's
Judas
is
is.
wrestling real or fake. Would that determine whether Chris
You guys,
Jericho
it's
is an
Royal
actor?
Rumble weekend. Don't do this to me.
The Royal Rumble is the best pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
It has to be. It's
So you're
super fun.
excited. Is that a 2-night event or just Sunday
Just
night?
one night.
Okay.
I've gone to WrestleManias. I've gone to
WrestleMania's 2 nights
SummerSlams.
now,
I've
right?
gone to Money in the Banks. I was just at Wrestle Kingdom. I've been to Nitro. I've been to the ECW Arena.
Oh.
The best wrestling experience I ever had live is at the Royal Rumble. It's fun.
I went to a
Just flat out fun.
I went to a Halloween Havoc once.
You did.
At
You went to
the
one of the most famous
Philadelphia-
Halloween Havocs of all time.
Philadelphia Civic Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Sting versus Jake the Snake. This guy's
Oh,
solid.
wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never been to any
Yeah.
of them.
Well, the
I'll
Civic
go.
Center, I think they knocked that down probably about 20, 30 years ago. Anyway, quick little wiki description before we take a quick break.
Yeah.
Rilo Kiley was, because they are
Yeah, that's
currently
true.
On hiatus / maybe eventually
Broken
get
up.
back
They're
together.
broken
Yeah,
up.
Jenny has her own thing doing now. Jenny and the Twins.
Yeah. An American indie rock band based in Los Angeles, California, obviously, because half of them were childhood actors.
So are you firmly indie rock?
Am I
this
firmly
point?
into indie
Yeah.
rock?
Are you in indie rock? Is that your...
Is that your number one genre?
Is that my number one job? I don't think it's my number one job
Genre.
necessarily. Genre? Yes.
Yeah.
You don't classify yourself as indie rock.
No, I would say I'm probably emo. I'm still crying in the corner at home all the time,
You're
listening to.
All right. I'm not
Yeah.
going to tell you what
It's
you
not-
are.
it's not
Whatever you
physical.
identify as, not anything
You
for
can
me
tell
to-
me what you think I am. Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I never heard you describe yourself as... but when we said indie rock earlier, I was just like, oh, yeah, Dan's into indie rock.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
like his thing.
You know,
I think you're more into that than you are into emo.
Yeah,
but
I could
be
see
wrong.
that.
if
Yeah.
a band's a beer,
I don't know
like,
your
a
life.
person can be a genre, I guess.
Yeah. Like I'm
all right.
hardcore metal punk.
Yeah, that's really specific.
Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a specific genre. All right, I'll take it. I do
Yeah.
listen to a lot of indie bands,
Maybe
so
I'm-
I'll give you that.
Maybe I'm punk metal hardcore. Maybe I'm hardcore.
Where does
That- we don't need an
metal?
existential crisis on the pod. I don't
Yeah.
think.
All right, yeah, then keep going.
All right. Rilo Kiley, formed in 1998. The band consisted of, well, we already talked about Jenny Lewis, Blake Sennett, Pierre Reader, and Dave Rock. The group released their debut album, Takeoffs and Landings, under the Seattle-based independent label Barca Records in 2001. After that, they released 3 additional studio albums, and there was a couple of EPs as well. And in 2007, they were signed with Warner Brothers. That's a major label. And subsequently...
I've heard of that one. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was when they released their album Under the Blacklight. And that ultimately ended up being their last album. So, speaking of genres that we fall under, they
sense.
were listed as indie rock, like myself, indie pop. I can definitely see that. I think there's
Yeah.
like a pop element.
Yeah,
to
there's
them.
you get a groove listening to them.
And then the genre that I described myself as, emo.
No, but
No.
yeah,
Not feeling. Yeah.
they're not emo. But I mean, like she has some moments in her songs. You know, I think
Could they be indie emo? Indimo.
emo.
Indimo. Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that's a new genre. I like it.
Indie.
I don't know. They seem rockish to me. They're a little folksy.
And they're a little folksy. That's what I would definitely go like indie folky.
The sound on the last album is totally different.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. Wasn't my favorite of theirs, and I kind of can see that. I bet you their artistic kind of directions are kind of splitting, and I think you can hear it in the album.
All right. Let's. I think during our next segment, we'll be talking about the specific albums. So I think we're ready for a break now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
let's do it.
All right.
All right,
we'll
guys.
take a quick break here.
I'm gonna finish this beer. So I
Yeah,
can't wait.
me too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
I'll be a little bit more loose on the next
Oh
segment.
yeah, here
guys.
we go. Things, we're letting loose today.
That's the whole
On
point.
Abandoned
boys.
Beers.
Let's do it.
And then there's another episode of the OC where Ryan imagines he never came to the OC and what life would be like, and it's very good. But on the other hand, what we're talking about today is Rilo Kiley and my beer for Rilo Kiley. I'm not going to be too long-winded with this because I know we got a lot to talk about. But I've been knowing Rilo Kiley. And I don't know how this happens, but they developed a certain reputation. And I don't know how these things happen. I mean, in this particular episode of the OC that I'm talking about, it was the soundtrack for a lesbian relationship. There are some lyrics in the songs that refer to dating men, dating women. And I don't know how somebody gets the reputation. I don't even know how you get the reputation for being a gay band or what being a gay band means. But I always thought Rilo Kiley was like one of those bands.
Yeah.
Don't know how, don't know why, but that was just their rep. So I wanted to kind of find a beer that represented that. And I absolutely did.
All right.
All right. Let's
out
see.
of New York, I found a beer called Gay Beer.
Gay beer.
It's a gay
It
beer.
literally says it on the can.
Not only does it literally say it, it's what it is. It's a
Yes.
beer out of Brooklyn, New York. It's a golden lager.
Golden lager.
And I hate to tell it to you guys, but you drink this and you're gay. So I hope you've had fun being straight. I've been bisexual for a while now, meaning that I've bought sex plenty of times. So
Let's do
I
it.
hope you guys are cool with this. You know,
Gay beer. Here
as
we
long
go,
as you guys aren't afraid to try something new,
It's a long weekend. Let's have some fun, yeah.
let's get gay.
Oh, we're all here together. Yeah, it's intended to pioneer change and inclusivity in the beer market. Gay beer is custom brewed to be a damn good craft beer while reflecting the richness and integrity of the LGBTQ community.
And
It's nice. Yeah.
all things, you know, we're having a lot of fun. I'm joking mainly, but you know, just because you're a gay man doesn't mean just because you're a gay band doesn't mean that other people can't enjoy it. Just because you make a gay beer doesn't mean a bunch of allegedly straight dudes can't get together and crack open a six-pack and have a great time. Like I said, I don't know how I got that perception of Rilo Kiley.
Yeah.
There might be something in the name that a story of it's
Is that
two.
OC episode, just like just like
So
Well,
that-
no.
That's
do you know
where
the
you
story?
got no.
Rilo Kiley was a combination of two gay men's names, something Rilo and something Kiley,
Interesting.
that committed suicide or something along the like.
so Kylo Ren.
Of being persecuted or whatever.
That's one. One reference to Kylo Ren. We figured there was going to be more than one reference by mistake usually, but I think you definitely
Yeah.
went for it right there.
I'm trying to think of the line in Marriage Story so I could do my Adam Driver impression, but not going to be able to pull it out. But yeah, a tongue-in-cheek version of my relationship to Rilo Kiley. A happy one, a happy band, a happy beer.
Now, how
Gay
did you come upon this beer? Like, where did you have to go to get it?
I was interested in finding, like, are there beers made, brewed, supported by the LGBT community? And
But
then I
mean,
thought
did you have to go to like a far off store? Like, I've never seen it.
more on the nose than gay beer. And then, so this is out of Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
Wasn't going to drive all the way up there to get
No.
it. But shouts out to Stones in Brewery Town, North Pennsylvania.
Okay.
They carry it. They
How
had
about
a
that?
Oh wow.
big supply and a really great supply. A really good import list. A good
Yeah, good for that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Let's tag them on the.
Yeah, a lot
episode,
of people
too.
are tagged today. Like
Yeah.
Cabra, Stones.
dude. Got to pet a dog while I was in there.
Nice.
Bought a
Wow.
magnet refrigerator bottle cap opener.
Ah, that's awesome.
Stones. I'm gonna just make sure it's Stones. Continue with your shit.
Yes. So it's
What
a
do you
good
think of this beer, Dan? Yeah.
It's a lager. We just went from like an American IPA.
It is
so
a big change. Yeah.
Yes, big change. I probably should have cleansed my palate a little more. We were still milking the hipster catnip. It's a different taste than the IPA. But it's okay. I mean, I'm not a lager guy, so that I get a little. I try to push my bias down because I spent all of my early 20s being a lager guy.
Yeah.
When you would go out to a bar and say I want a lager, and that would be a Yingling.
Yeah, and these neck of the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know if that still holds at a bar.
No, it doesn't anymore because there's so many different beers to choose from. But,
yeah.
Once I got off of Yingling, I didn't tend to go. I don't tend to go for too many lagers anymore. So, but it's good. I'm enjoying it.
So Stone's Beer and Beverage Market, 3145 Jefferson Street, and isn't this a bit of irony in the maps?
Look at that.
Portion of the.
There's in the maps.
That's amazing.
Of the app, it's
Hipster
a picture of
catnip.
hipster catnip. So
Wow.
it's almost like a sign.
I would say gay beer, like this lager, is like really clean, easy on the palate, especially after I just had a swig of water trying to cleanse, like Dan suggested.
Yeah, we
I
need to
think
start like
it's an easy
sniffing,
drinking
coffee
lager,
beans
for sure.
or whatever. Is that or no? That's what you do when you're smelling candles, or no cologne. You sniff coffee beans, and that cleans your nose.
Talking to the wrong guy on that one.
Sorry. No, when you go shopping for cologne, they have like coffee beans there for you to smell a little bit, and that kind of cleans your nose
Like probably
palate.
pushes out all the scents that are just like lingering in
I'm
the nostrils.
exclusively smelling like Tom's Ford. It's my
There you go.
exclusive brand of cologne.
Okay. I speaking of cologne, I'm a Sauvage guy, mostly
Wow.
because
Oh.
of Johnny Depp.
Wow, the cancellation didn't make you switch?
No, it did not. And
Yeah, he's back. He redeemed himself.
my lady loves it, and I get compliments from people every once in a while about it. So I'm a Sauvage guy.
I don't own cologne.
Wow,
Yeah,
look
I
at you.
tried it. I had like a sample box at one point in time, like 22
You
years
ever
old.
been a cologne guy?
I tried to be. I was like, maybe I should be, but never worked out. I either don't want to wear it or just like nothing that was for me.
Yeah.
It's not like I hate it. I'm not
Yeah,
like against it.
I'm
It's
known
just
to
not
be
for
a
me.
sweaty guy, so I need that extra barrier protection in case I
Yeah.
get a little, things get a little.
I've recently stopped wearing deodorant during the pandemic. I was like,
'Cause
why
of
am I
the-
going to wear this?
The disease, right?
Yeah, well, I don't want to have other diseases because of it. Like,
Are-
I have my disease.
Are we saying this
thyroid, Graves' disease? What's up?
is this going to be a long weekend of you smelling extra ripe
well,
because you
I mean,
gave up
can you guys
deodorant?
smell me now?
I mean, I bought a natural deodorant. It's like $18.
No,
It's
I want
Stinks,
I want the
but it is
hardcore stuff.
non-poisonous crap.
I want the
I don't want
hardcore
any of those
stuff
aluminums
that's going
or
to
whatever
be
it is,
staining my undershirts because of all the chemicals
All
that are
right.
in there. Anyway,
So what deodorant is Rilo Kiley?
Well, I would say she has
actually, that's our other podcast, deodorants and bands. Or what's that?
sandalwood.
what's-
Sandalwood seems right for
Secret. I think they're
What's
secret.
that smell? I guess
They got to be
is the-
secret,
her. A secret.
as far as I'm concerned.
I was going secret sandalwood. Do they have
Rilo
that?
Kiley
I like
by
sandalwood.
Rilo Kiley, 1999. Let's talk about it.
Native sandalwood? That's a Target brand, I believe.
So the self-titled album was their first album. It wasn't really released on an official label necessarily. I don't consider it's not considered one of their quote-unquote official albums. So I don't know, Pat, if there were any songs specifically that really stood out to you. on
Yeah,
that.
I was immediately surprised and pleased. I really liked it. Always Glendora.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was like a good. I could see why people would find this, like it, fall in love with it, and
The thing
Yeah.
is, I don't
Teenage
think
love
anybody-
song. I think it's a great
I don't
song.
think a lot of people were finding it back in 1999, though. I think it took a little more time to get exposure on.
which might lend credibility to the hipster nature of it. Knew them before they were cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
I really thought they would like show up on that Juno soundtrack. They don't. But especially that first album has a lot of that. Yeah, because I guess maybe her voice wasn't like fully mature yet, or their sound wasn't. But like you can almost hear that same kind of vibe that you get off that soundtrack, which was a very specific kind of like indie movie at the time.
Yep.
Can I give you a pet peeve?
What you got?
They do a thing where they, you might be able to describe this better, but you know how like if a song has 4 notes, the lyrics have to be on a 4-beat rhythm of like, I went to the store.
I don't know what that's called.
But they do a thing where they drag out one word and make it 2 notes.
Yeah.
B for E, E.
Oh yeah.
That kind of
Sometimes
thing.
you're gonna drag it out.
That's a real
little
pet
bit.
peeve of mine in music. They
Try
do
to
it
get
a lot.
It fit in. Yeah. So I don't.
Even that album artwork of that first album, Rilo Kiley, is so hipster.
Yeah.
It's like that blue, that like red stripe.
It's clean.
That is.
Yeah, I mean, I
that
like
is
it, but
hipster.
like at that point in time too, that
A
like
blue can with a red streak and a
Yeah.
white. Did I find
is
the
a-
beer with the album cover to match?
It is a red bandana tied. I don't know what's that knot that it's tied into.
I believe they call that a bow.
a
That's
bow.
what
Okay.
they used to
Yes.
tie around their
That's
necks
right.
to let everybody know they're down.
Okay. All right. So 2001 is their first album on Barsuck Records. It's takeoffs and landings. So I discovered this album after I had gotten into their next album, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So I wasn't into them when it came out. So I don't have I wasn't there at the time. So, but I love a lot of the songs off of there. Pictures of Success, August. It's just like I don't want to say it's simplistic, but it's just like nice and clean, and it just sounds nice and peaceful. Like I just love putting this album on, and just it's kind of like you're sitting outside and just enjoying spring weather kind of album to me.
Yeah. I feel that I definitely had, I think, especially that first album, then like they takeoffs and landings, like you can really feel them growing. And you can see that they're on their way. It's different than like most bands where like you can start to like, or bands that we've done where you can like, there's like big differences between albums. Like this is a gradual evolution, and you can really hear them like start to sound like themselves. I liked these first couple albums I really enjoy. That second album I think has a lot of great songs like Science First Romance, Pictures of Success. I really enjoy.
I had never heard this album before.
Yeah.
Start off with Go Ahead. Really like it. After that, it kind of takes a dip for me. Go Ahead is a great... they do this cool thing that I like where it's like they make a lyric really simple. Like if you want to go ahead and have your cake, go ahead. But then they twist it and make it weird. And if you want a bunch of people to watch you eat it too. They took a giant left turn of what the next thing you thought was thinking, and I really like that. After Go Ahead, the album kind of takes a dive for me until they get to Plain Cash in C, where I thought, I
was gonna say the
They
last
really
couple
come back
songs on
again.
the album I think are more like filler type songs where they just kind of, all right, we need to throw a couple more songs on the album.
it kind of put me to sleep until Plain Crash in C, and then
Yeah.
it woke me up again. I was just like, oh, this one's really great, and then
Mm-hmm.
it kind of closes out with it's filler songs.
I think for me, what it started to show that Jenny Lewis had a lot of talent writing songs.
Definitely.
Like her lyrics are, I think, they're like really lovely. She's like thinking about them. They're not easy. I think they are complex. She's telling a story often. She's attacking subjects that maybe you don't often hear from a female songwriter as well.
Yep. So 2002, they move over to Saddle Creek Records, which is tied to Conor Oberst of Bright Eyes fame, if you guys are familiar with that.
I hear he's influenced by Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that right now. But this
knew
album,
Saddle Creek was familiar, but yeah. Bright Eyes.
2002, The Execution of All Things.
Can we pause right there?
Yes.
Mhm.
Pause.
That is an interesting title.
The
Yep.
execution of all things.
I was thinking about that on the car ride here, and I was like, what is that? And why is it good? Because it is, and I don't know.
It's a complex statement, but
It's the execution of all things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something you have to think about for
That
a
really
second,
made
right?
me. It really made me stop and think,
Yeah.
even though I'd heard it a bunch of times.
Yeah. Listening to the songs on that album, I don't
This is my favorite of the album of theirs.
really serious.
This is the one that I liked the most.
This is
for
my
sure.
least favorite.
It's
Wow.
my
Rilo
least
Kiley
favorite
song.
album, and it might have my most favorite song.
It's got
Wow.
it's a little more country, like it's got like a country twang to it. With some of the songs, there's like a little more steel guitar
Yeah.
and like slides involved. And I found myself questioning whether the fact that they were on Saddle Creek Records, maybe they, Bright Eyes kind of throws some of that stuff into their songs. So maybe
I mean, I guess The Good That Won't Come. Okay.
This is
A Better-
2002, though.
A Better Son, Daughter. Okay, I guess.
this
Better
is
Son
my
and Daughter is a lovely song. I love
this
it.
is my least favorite Rilo Kiley album. So
And
that's
I
just
think
me.
it's at this album when they really kind of discover themselves. It sets them up for their next album, which is definitely their most successful. All right, it has all their hits on it. And it made me really appreciate the things that Jenny Lewis was doing with the lyrics. Like, even the title of the album itself, The Execution of All Things, it's in a song that's probably not, they probably would have known wasn't going to be their best song off this album, but it's the thing that probably meant the most to her. Or maybe she thought it was like the most like poetic. Who knows? But I really enjoy this album. I love that first song, The Good That Won't Come Out. Better Son or Daughter is great. I love My Slumbering Heart. Like, I have a lot of like loves off of this album. I think they did a great job with it, and you can really like that slow evolution. I think this is like their turning point. I do love like, myself some Rebel country, but you can hear like where they can really get some folksy in here. Like they're really starting to define their sound.
We ready to move on to our next album
Yeah,
in
yeah.
2004?
So this,
I can keep on talking about this
This
one.
was my intro to Rilo
That's the
Kiley.
first song I heard. Yeah.
For sure.
This album in 2004, More Adventurous. This was on Brute / Butte Records, which was distributed by Warner Brothers. I think it was their own record label, Brute / Butte. I think that would be like a Jenny / Blake, because in a sense they did date for a couple years. But they ended up breaking up shortly after the release of The Execution of All Things. But I think they were kind of, when I hear
Who and who?
Jenny and Blake, the two child actors.
They got down.
Yes, they were dating.
Oh,
They did like a Fleetwood Mac type thing.
wow.
Yeah.
I know Jenny Lewis famously dated Gyllenhaal.
Oh, she's really?
Yeah.
Who hasn't dated Gyllenhaal though?
I
Come
mean,
on.
which is surprising to me because I thought Gyllenhaal was a gay beer, but
No,
He's a short dude too. Like I was, I met him once in person. He's small.
Donnie Darko?
Donnie D is shorter than us. Not that means anything, but I was just like,
He's fucking 10 times as handsome.
that's
That
it,
guy's
baby.
gorgeous.
I mean, speak for
so-
yourself.
First song off of More Adventurous, it's a hit.
It's a hit.
Any chimp can play human for a day, uses opposable thumbs to iron his uniform, and run for office on election day. Fancy himself a real decision maker, and deploy more troops than salt shakers.
I didn't do this in the Bloodhound Gang episode.
I just love that line.
The way you sang it sounded like it was a song from The Simpsons.
Thank
it
you.
was really fun for me.
I just
See
love
my
that.
vest, see
Yeah.
my vest.
It's a hit.
So the lyrics in that, I don't know if they were going like for like a anti-Iraq war or whatever stance on
Yeah.
that, but just hearing that reminded me of like George W. Bush. Like at that time period, everybody was
Oh, man,
all up in
everybody
arms.
hated him back
yeah,
then.
about the Iraq war. So like, there were other lyrics about other instances in that song, but love that little line there.
Portions for Foxes is a.
Yeah, the next two songs, Does He Love You, Portions for Foxes.
Does He Love You?
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're saying, like during the song, it sounds like she's saying portions for fuck's sake. I don't. Maybe that's just me that heard that, but I always before I actually sat down and looked at the lyrics, I think I was probably singing
That's
to myself.
definitely the
saying
example of her like finding like a fun little lyric and using it. Because like I think if you were to guess the title of that song, it wouldn't be Portions for Foxes.
No.
Yeah.
But
It's
this
like Does
is
He Love You or
and
something
what
like
I'm
that.
talking about when I say that they have a second gear. This is what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, where it is a very pretty song, where it's
Does He Love You? Amazing guitar work in addition to the vocals from Jenny Lewis, but Blake just like really takes off with the way he plays guitar is it's not it's
Yeah, you're holding
it's
up your
subtle.
hand like you're
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
do the
playing
notes.
the guitar with my hand right now. Sorry, as a guitarist. So, but I just love the way he plays guitar. Like it's subtle. Like he's not like a virtuoso, but it's like a subtle virtuosity kind of. Yeah, it's not Eddie Van Halen, but it's like it's something that stands out to me as a guitar player.
Love and War, A Man, Me, Then Jim. I mean, a lot of really good stuff on this album. I don't think it's their most complete album. I think their most complete album from beginning to next is next. To beginning to end is next. I
Yeah.
think the next album.
So the last album that
And
they
the
put
last
out,
album, Blacklight.
Yeah.
Under the Blacklight, officially on Warner Brothers.
Oh, wow. They made it all the way to Warner Brothers.
That's right.
That's
So
incredible.
That was a major label debut in a sense. So
Yeah, this is my least favorite album.
I would disagree with that.
Yeah,
That-
see, I'm just on a different page on Rilo Kiley than you guys.
I would rank it as number 3. I'd go more adventurous. Then I'd go takeoffs and landings, and then I'd go Under the Blacklight.
I'd probably say this is their best album. It is not their original sound.
I love that
It's
we're all
a
disagreeing on this.
sound
Is
That's
awesome.
interesting.
that they
Yeah,
came
like-
across later, but I think from beginning to end, starting with Silver Lining, to Moneymaker, to Under the Blacklight, to Dream World, I think it's maybe it never reaches the highest of highs of their best song, but
Yep.
it never reaches their lowest of lows on the best song. I think this album is, a solid B plus, where where a perfect album is A all the way. I think this one never dips below a B or a C. I think it's a very, very good album.
Well, what I like about this first album is that you can feel the evolution. You can feel them being themselves. This one does take a bit of a turn. Like I wouldn't say it's like a 90 degree. It's like maybe a 30 degrees. What I'm guessing about this as I listen to it is that
You
they're
really
artistic.
chugged your gay beer. Sorry. I just
Just,
noticed
just
Pat just
getting every
emptied
last
out.
drop-
Yeah, he
every last
emptied
drop out
out
of
that
it.
can very fast.
Got to keep you guys thinking about this beer.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dusty.
What were you saying? Something about music?
My disease it affects my short-term memory, guys. So like if I as there's it's that 30-degree turn. I think you can start to see the artistic kind of direction starting to separate, and that's why maybe they would break up. Is what I would guess.
I would have loved another album just to see what it would have been like, but
Yeah,
It wasn't
it's not
meant
like
to be.
I hate it. It's just it's my
Yeah.
least favorite.
I get you.
Although I don't like the first one very much either.
I mean, granted, this
I
album
don't
came out.
dislike it.
This
It's
came
just
out in
my least favorite.
2007. They didn't break up officially until 2013. So
And I never heard
You
it.
just couldn't get on the
this
same
was,
page, probably.
New stuff.
so
Yeah, most of this is new stuff for me. It's they're just more adventurous is what I was really familiar with.
yeah. So I think we've had our fill of gay beer. I think we're ready for beer number 3, Dusty.
I could
So
get gayer, dude.
I can't-
I think we
All
could do another one.
if we have a 6-pack, let's
Yeah,
break them
yeah.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
All right,
just have
do
a
it.
happy time.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back.
All right, guys. So I'm ready to tell you about my beer and my journey. I went on with Rilo Kiley because I think I learned a lot about them on this one. This is a great one for me. As so many of these are, where I'm familiar with some of the songs, but not their full catalog. And I think I went with with the heart of Rilo Kiley is, and to me, it's a hipster dance party. So it's not just a hipster beer, but I think this is like those poppy ones where you get like that indie pop. You hear them at those indie hipster dance parties,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
I feel myself getting shut out of the vote, and I'm already so mad.
My first experience with Rilo Kiley was in college, and
A lot of experiences are.
yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
first times in
we
college.
were,
Yeah.
we were trying things out. We were expanding our
If we're
minds.
going with your beer, yes.
And I would frequently visit an art college, what a lot of our friends were at, and they were having a lot of dance parties back in the day.
Yeah,
And,
they love
this
that.
was a frequent refrain that we'd hear as Rilo Kiley songs,
Okay.
as we were doing that. So I wanted to do a 21st Amendment beer. This is Hell or High Pomegranate.
Ooh, Hell or High Pomegranate.
Their most famous version of this is the Hell or High Watermelon. That is seasonal. I can't get it. So that's like,
Amazing summer beer.
yeah, they don't make it right now, so you
Oh,
actually
okay.
can't get it.
Yep.
I have tried.
The watermelon beer is amazing, so I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, and I think Jenny Lewis, is a little shout out to her, although that's not quite what I'm looking for.
This
What I like about this,
Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead. Is that
No,
it?
no,
No.
Oh
your
no,
beer.
no, that's
It's your beer,
It's
please.
my beer. I think the Hell or High Watermelon, especially, it was like probably the first version of this of 21st Amendment, and you would see it at these hipster parties. This was like really when the craft beers were really starting to take off. It's a lighter beer. You could have it at a party. You could taste it and have a lot of fun with it. It was a little bit different, and I think a lot like Rilo Kiley is that you would have a lot of fun with it. You can interact with it. It's maybe not all the time. I think there's a specific mood Riley sets, or Rilo, and I think that's what you get a lot of with Hell or High Watermelon or Hell or High Pomegranate.
Yeah. Whenever I think of High or Hell watermelon, I think of Morgan's Beer, which is hipster central.
Or at least
Right
it was at one.
It was at
upon a
one
time.
point. It might
Yeah.
not be anymore. Maybe
Yeah.
it's too popular. But as soon as I cracked open this can, I got a whiff of the pomegranate smell, and it was awesome.
Oh,
I
I
loved
mean, it is a really tasty beer. It has that red, you can associate with Jane Lewis's hair. It's a little bit sour. Dan's making a face.
I just took my first sip finally, and
A little exaggerated.
it is not. Maybe because I was expecting Hell or High
Yeah.
watermelon. This is quite sour.
I would say it's a touch more sour than Hell or High Watermelon, although it has like the same kind of
Yeah.
taste to it. There's a lot of it that's the same. I'm actually surprised by it. This is
And
actually
this
my
is-
first sip.
How
This
does
is
it
21st
pour? Does
Amendment
it pour
Brewery.
red?
That's a great question. We can get a cup and do that for you.
It looks like it's pouring kind of like a pale yellow kind of. It's not gonna. It's
I would
not
imagine
pouring red.
it's not red.
Definitely not
All
pouring
right,
red. Yeah.
I don't like Hell or High Watermelon.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what the 21st Amendment is.
It's the
It's
brewery.
the brewery.
I know, but there's a 21st Amendment in life, right?
Yeah, we didn't. Did you do any research on that, Dustin?
On the 21st Amendment
Yeah.
itself, I haven't.
He hasn't.
So
We'll
let's
give him a
give it a-
second, but
let's give it a
Sorry,
quick,
Pat. What were you talking about?
And don't just Google things. Just internet search them. Don't give Google all your data. That's your data. They don't need it. But so I know of the brewery. I know of the beers. I never got
we all know this amendment.
into it. It's
Oh,
the
is it
slave
the-
thing.
It's prohibition, or was it the repeal?
Of prohibition,
Okay,
exactly.
alright.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
smart.
It says here ducks have to wear long pants.
That's gonna be a fun clip for you.
What are your thoughts on pomegranates in general?
Don't like them. Don't know how to eat them. I'm a little bit like Charlie Kelly, and if I don't know, if I see a fruit, I just come across. I don't know how to eat this. I don't even know where to start. Kyle loves them.
Well, the seeds are like the. Isn't like the main thing you're supposed
I
to
don't
be
like
eating?
seeds. Don't want seeds.
That's anytime I've gotten. I don't think I've ever had an official fresh pomegranate, but I've had frozen or a bunch of frozen fruit together, and pomegranates are in there.
Yeah,
And it seemed like there's seeds, kind of.
we've prepared some pomegranate seeds. I don't actually remember eating the fruit meat.
Well,
We always end up talking about fruits and vegetables on this podcast.
That's
we're all
why I am wearing
yeah,
the
We're all
shirt.
healthy guys, yeah.
La Vigne Papillon.
But I'm just in regards to the taste of
It's
this.
good. It's very good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. that
You,
good.
you can
Sorry.
see it. You can listen to a little Rilo Kiley, Portia Foxes come on. You can do this little hipster dance to it. You're
I
drinking
don't
this. You're not
think
getting
it's
too drunk because
exactly
you're
Rilo
cool.
Kiley.
Well, yeah, I think that's just your opinion.
Yeah.
I think if you found
I think we all agree this is the most Rilo Kiley of all beers.
If you-
Explain how again?
Rilo Kiley
Yeah.
is the epitome of the hipster dance party. I
They're
think,
not.
Well, no, that's my my beer
he's
sis.
had
my
Right,
beer
hipster
but you're
experience.
starting
he
your-
said he went
your-
to our, he
I was with
dated-
him when he did it. You're starting your thesis off on an inaccuracy.
I disagree. How so?
Silence.
Rilo Kiley is too mainstream to be hipster.
Oh, I don't think that's
I don't know
true.
about that.
I mean, like they are firmly indie.
They got some play on some television shows.
Bright Eyes
radio play
was the quintessential hipster band until they became too popular.
I don't know about that either.
Oh yeah, I don't know about.
What are we even talking about?
I think Bright Eyes is like the
Oh,
ultimate
boy.
emo band, if any, or emo. Like,
Yeah, I
emo
think
is
like emo,
extremely-
yeah.
the Venn diagram
We'll work on the Venn diagram
of
later.
hipster and emo
Yes, we.
is a 90% shared circle.
It is because I thought of myself as emo, and you said that you thought of me as indie rock. So there's case in point right there.
I think there was a lot of bands at this point in time that you could understand and point to as indie versus like the emos of the world. That's like the Decemberists, the Architecture in Helsinki. Like all those guys were starting to flourish, thanks to a band called Neutral Milk Hotel.
I don't want to talk about them right now. We'll talk about them during our. We've already talked about them, for all we know.
I think we might have in the future, in the past.
Meet me in the future later.
Yeah.
Danny, you got any factoids about the
All
band?
right, so Rilo
Have to
Kiley.
move on.
Interesting band facts. We've already talked about Jenny Lewis and Blake Sennett being child actors. Jenny and Blake both dated together. They dated for a couple of years before.
It'd be fun if they dated together.
Yes, sorry.
You date, I'll date.
Look, this is our
we'll
third
date.
beer.
Yeah,
two of them.
They
Two of the beers were
only
high
ever do
alcohol
like
content, so.
twosomes. You're just like we all date together. If you don't go out and date with me and my friend, then we're not dating.
I want to talk about my own personal experiences with Rilo Kiley. I've seen them perform live twice.
Have you really?
Wow.
Once at the Trocadero
Oh,
Cool.
and once at the Electric Factory.
Yeah.
One of the two shows, I don't remember which one. I'm pretty sure it's the Trocadero because I have like my most like treasured like band show memories from the Trocadero. Like their closing song, I don't remember what it was, but it closed with like confetti coming down from the ceiling, and you just kind of like it felt like this is. I think I remember like specifically at the time thinking this is the greatest show I've ever been to.
Oh wow,
because
that's
I was
cool.
in such like a great like I'm so happy like
It is happy.
it was an
like,
amazing show.
despite their lyrics, and I think sometimes they get a little like Debbie Downey. Like it's all positive. Like it makes you feel good. It's like you just want to dance.
Yeah,
No, synonym for happy. Yeah.
they put on a great show. I went to the show with one of my indie rock friends at the time.
So what's the lineup? I'd be interested. Do you
I don't know what the
do you
lineup
recall,
was.
Like,
I was going through my
were they
my
the headliner? Were they?
Yeah, they were the headliner.
They were headlining.
I went through my collection of ticket stubs that I have like a whole book of them, and I had one from 2005 at the Trocadero, and then one from 2008 at the Electric Factory. So, that the 2008 one was after Under the Blacklight, their last album came out. So maybe I was a little more. That wasn't my favorite album, so I might have been a little biased in a sense for
they
that
played
show.
a lot of it. You
Yeah,
think?
Could you feel their discord with one another in their show?
I think that's a good. I think that's if you can balance that correctly on stage, it can be amazing. Because
One of the best shows I ever saw was a band that broke up the next month.
Within like a couple days, really, wasn't it? Like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
every time I die,
that first day of the 2-day show. Was
yes.
Another band for another time.
Yeah.
But if you look at Fleetwood Mac,
Yeah.
Right.
four of the five members of that band had dated together, and they wrote the greatest album ever when they were breaking up with each other, and like the songs were amazing, and the stage like they could sing these songs to each other, and it was, as an audience, like it was amazing to take that in. So I think Rilo Kiley was also tapping into something in that sense.
Which brings me to what I want to talk about.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Pat's got.
I want to talk about the breakup,
Yeah.
and I want to talk about Jenny Lewis.
Uh huh.
I don't
Old
know Jenny
JL.
Lewis. I don't know her.
Uh huh.
She's had 4 solo albums come out. Big fan of them myself.
I don't know her,
of the solo albums.
but she seems mean to me.
Hmm.
She writes songs where she references being mean, being difficult, going through mood swings. And then I think of my boy, Pinsky, Joey the Rat, Blake, where...
You are willing to defend him hell or high water.
So here I am.
Thank you.
Here I am, Frankie the Enforcer
Yep.
to my Joey the Rat, standing by his side no matter what. But I'll be damned if best songs on the album are Jenny Lewis songs.
They are.
Yeah.
The Blake songs are fine.
And here's the
Right.
thing. They both have had their own solo careers. Blake has a band called The Elected.
Right.
I've listened to them. Didn't really do it for me.
Their album, the Elected's album, Sun, 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 there is a lyric that goes, she's drunk. She's mean when she's drunk. She says, the only reason you got this far was because of me. Your songs always sucked.
Ooh, you think that was definitely about her?
I'm not an interpreter, but the next line is, she comes to me at my bed and she says she didn't mean it. She never does.
Yeah. That's a
Guys,
drunk in a
I know
nutshell,
what it's
yes.
like to be the most talented person in a group. You know,
What band was that?
to have to carry the load of your compadres and just to just have your talent be the thing that everybody's coming for, but then have to share the thing with like
The accolades.
Yeah.
But no one buys a third of a pie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want the full pie.
I bought the third of a pie. I bought the
it's never
majority.
as good. You want the whole pie.
I bought the majority of Jenny Lewis's solo
Even if
album.
you don't eat the whole pie, you want the whole pie because it's better as a whole pie.
Yeah. I think
know-
that's when you're talking about Rilo Kiley as in a whole. Yes.
You know, this is the old Elio's metaphor. You can't have the center of the pizza without baking the whole pizza, even if just a couple bites or a couple slices is all you need.
There you go. So
I'm gonna publish that one.
are we ready to do your draft?
What do we call it?
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Dusty's
I think we've reached
official.
that time.
Yes.
You know, it's our happy hour songs on draft, where we go and we pick our favorite songs from our band, and we make our own playlists and see who has the best playlist, and make sure that we know or are talking about our favorite songs.
Dusty's gonna
on
write
draft.
down all the songs too.
I do, and I'm ready.
Look at that. He's got his laptop.
I have a
ready and
laptop
everything.
out. I'm going to be able to write really
We
quickly.
going We going 3.
Before we find out who
categories.
goes first,
Thank you, Pat.
would you guys prefer Nickelodeon shows
Yes.
or
No.
Nickelodeon shows.
TGIF shows?
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon TV shows? Shows that were only on Nickelodeon?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Start us off, Pat, and then go to Dusty next.
Salute your shorts.
Double Dare.
Dude Ranch.
That show was called Hey Dude.
Hey, dude.
I'm out.
All that?
Clarissa explains it all. That's fair. That's fair. That was a thing. That one counts.
Yeah. wasn't even gonna challenge it.
Yeah.
Secret Life of Alex Mack.
Good one.
Real Monsters.
Cat Dog.
Rugrats.
5,
You said
Oh.
Real Monsters.
3, 2, 1.
Keenan and Kel.
5, 4,
Hold on. Wait a minute.
3,
Give me a
No.
second.
2,
No.
1.
There was another cartoon that I really
That's
wanted
it.
to say.
Eh.
Oh God damn!
Rocko's Modern Life, dude.
I had
Ren
all
and
the cartoons.
Stimpy,
Ren and
yeah.
Stimpy was what I had in my tip. I
right.
said it. I had it in my head.
Packets, go
But
first.
like my goddamn disease.
Portion for Foxes.
Let's go on Portion for Foxes. As his
Portion
first
for
song.
It's
Foxes.
the it's the clear front runner, number 1 in the draft, best overall player. I mean, You got a lot of room in the 2 spot for a great, but the obvious number 1 is Portions.
Yeah, I'm going Does He Love You. I really enjoy that
Damn
song.
it, that was my.
Wouldn't have been my 2, but all right.
I'm gonna go with the first song off the album. It's a hit for More Adventurous,
Ooh,
All right, then you can go again, Danny.
and I can go again. Ooh, I can't do Does He Love You because you stole that.
Oh, I didn't steal it. That was my turn.
I'm going off of takeoffs and
Hey, dude,
landings.
you fucking
Pictures of
dummy.
Success.
Oh, my God.
Pictures of Success. Love that song.
All right, so for my second song, let me see my list here. What has been taken? A Better Son, Daughter / Daughter.
Oh, is that off the album that I didn't like? Okay, that's fine. Take it.
I'm so happy. This is my favorite Rilo Kiley song. It's called Spectacular Views, and I love it so much.
Which album was that off of?
More Adventurous.
Good
Or
call.
what's the album before More Adventurous?
Heyo.
The one that I hated.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the one I don't like. It's the best song off the one. It's called
The Execution of
The
All
Execution of All Things. It's
You love the name of the album.
Yeah. My favorite song. I love it so much. And the first for my last pick, I'm going to pick a song, the first song of the first album, The Farouk.
The Farouk. All right, so for my last pick.
I can do the Farouk. I cannot do the Smurf.
I'm going to go with
I cannot fall in love. I cannot call you back.
The Good That Won't Come Out.
My playlist
Is that off your
is
favorite
so
album?
much better than you guys.
I'll have to look
The
it up.
fans will all
Where it
agree.
is. I keep a
They'll
list
tell
of the
me
songs I'm
the
going to draft.
best.
Yeah.
Da, na, 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 na. Bum, bum, bum.
All right, so I'm closing it out with this last song.
That's it.
Bum, bum.
I'm gonna go with "I Never" from the More
The
Adventurous
most talented
album.
one
Yeah, it's on my
in the
list, too.
group.
I love how the song kind of fades out at one point, and then it comes back in with like the guitar solo at the end.
They're all watching
Yeah.
for Pat's
Love it.
app.
You know, it's funny. It's like
He's the best one at the
I have, this is
show.
probably the most songs I've
That's
ever
why
had on
we
my list of
watch on
songs I'm going to
YouTube.
draft.
Look at you.
Subscribe.
And
You love Rilo Kiley that much.
I think I actually kind of do really enjoy them, although I do think it's like situational
Oh,
when
yeah.
I listen to them. And there wasn't that
could
much
do the
overlap. We
show
all kind of like had our
by
own
myself.
vibe
We did,
for
Yeah,
Rilo.
we all
Yeah.
had our own
And it
like
would be
favorites.
better.
We all had our own favorite album off of
I'm
theirs,
the
and it was
number
different
one.
than each other. So
Better
Yeah,
than
that's
this
cool.
worked out.
so much
All right,
better than
Dusty,
these
give us a
guys.
rundown.
So, Pat, for Rilo Kiley, he went with Portion for Foxes, their number one acclaimed hit, that's for sure. Spectacular Views, his favorite. And the Farouk, I went with Does He Love You?
Does he love you?
A Better Son or Daughter. And the Good That Won't Count. that won't count out. Come out. There was a, I'm typing it really fast. And then for Dan, It's a Hit.
It's a hit.
Pictures of Success, and I Never.
Great song list from me.
Guys, I
Sorry.
love Glendora. I love Teenage Love Song, My Slumbering Heart. Oh, man, there's Silence versus Romance, Pictures of Romance. I believe those are different songs.
I think
There's
it's
a lot of
time.
songs out there.
Yeah, I think it's time to
Silver Linings, Dream World.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
good
lot of
songs
great
off of that album as well. So no matter how much anybody says they wasn't their favorite album of theirs or whatever,
Yeah,
but
good job by them.
Yeah.
They had a great career. I
Great
think those
band.
great albums by them.
love listening to their music. So I think it's time to that we pick our beer.
yeah.
All right, Dan,
What
you get to
beer?
go first.
I get to go first.
I think so.
Oh,
Is that
man.
how we do this?
I don't know.
I was the one who picked the band, so
I
probably
feel like I
shouldn't go
always
first.
vote last, so maybe I should go first.
Okay.
All right,
Let me
Dusty's
go
going
first. I'm gonna give you a brief. I think this is a great band. I think they could do great things. I really appreciate Jenny Lewis. The lyrics she says, I think it takes a stand, and I think it has a real opinion about things. She talks about some things. I think it kind of has a great taste to it. I do think it was like she was like a pioneer of like this indie culture that started to evolve. You know, there's always been indie music, but like that specific one, I'm gonna have to go with Hipster Cabinet by the La Cabra.
All right, I'm gonna I'm actually, I did not, I didn't like either of the beers. I'm sorry, guys, that you provided.
You gotta pick one.
I know
It's
I had to
not
pick one.
a what beer you like.
I know.
It's a what beer you think.
Best represents the band. Your Pat, your presentation of the gay beer, I didn't understand it. But I also didn't watch that episode of the OC.
All right.
So that's partly why I didn't understand it.
Yeah, a lot of Pat's personalities from the OC, so
yes.
it makes sense.
So Dusty presented high.
Really, honestly, all time.
Hell or High Pomegranate, which is an okay.
It's not the one I would have chosen.
No.
It's like at least two beers now that are like, if it was just in season, I think.
But
it
I
would have
think
done
you
better.
presented it a little better than. Well, I understood it a little better than Pat's beer.
My beer thesis.
I think I'm going with Hell or High Pomegranate from 21st Amendment Brewery. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
I really
Take
did
us home,
want that
Pat.
vote just to put it into a tie and have Nicole come in here and pick the winner. But
No, we don't
Yeah,
want
let-
that. 'Cause
let me win. Let me win.
He plays favorites.
Man. For me, I enjoyed this one. This pomegranate thing. It was really better than the watermelon thing, I think.
Oh, wow.
And
cool.
if we're talking hipsters, Dusty Swartz knows himself some hipsters. His clothes.
Wearing a shirt with a bunch of
vegetables
on it.
on it. Yeah, speaks to the vegan nature of a lot of hipsters. I think we can I think that Venn diagram is also pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
But I think if we're going beer, if we're going can, design, feel, we're going hipster catnip. Hipster catnip is Rilo Kiley, I think. That's my vote.
Awesome. Thank you. I was really excited to pick that beer for Rilo Kiley, so I'm glad that it.
Yeah, it's a little on the
up
nose,
winning.
but it's a great beer. I'm happy that
Yeah.
it's Rilo
It's a
Kiley.
little on the nose, but man, it's like sometimes it's like
Isn't that the point of this podcast? We're trying to get on the nose.
you're trying to get it on the
Yeah,
nose.
you guys were trying to get it on the nose.
You're like,
I think
it's
I
like-
hit it on the nose.
It's a little too tail on.
Maybe
the
that's
nose.
like my problem why I don't win. Is like I'm always trying to like take
You're
too
going
hard of an angle.
Too abstract. You gotta go more distinct.
Ah, guys, I guess
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see if I can do that. Or I'll just
All right.
be happy to lose all the time.
I think that does it for Rilo Kiley and
So
Abandoned Beers.
we're gonna be back
Hipster
again
Catnip from La Cabra
real
Brewing.
soon.
is the beer, yeah.
And for our sessions at sea, from Dusty Swartz, Dan McHenry, and your boy Pat Zapp, this is us saying,
Abandoned Beers.
Abandoned Beers.
abandoned beers.